What if I told you there's a snack sitting in your fruit bowl right now that could quietly be draining your energy, irritating your joints, and even spiking your blood sugar? While another fruit just a few inches away might help lower your blood pressure, reduce inflammation, and give your brain a gentle boost of clarity. Sounds dramatic? Maybe. But the truth is, not all fruits are created equal, especially when we hit our 60s and beyond. I'm not here to tell you to stop eating fruit. No, far from it. Fruits are one of nature's most powerful medicines, but some fruits, especially certain tropical and processed ones, can do more harm than good for seniors. And today, we're going to separate the powerful healers from the sneaky saboteurs. If you're over 60, what you're about to hear could literally change how your body feels, how your mind works, and how much energy you wake up with tomorrow. Stick with me to the very end of this video, and you'll discover the 4 fruits I recommend all my senior patients include in their weekly routine, and the 4 I advise them to avoid like a mosquito in summer. And here's the best part. It's not about cutting everything out. It's about making smarter, simple choices that protect your heart, brain, and bones. So before we jump in, take a second to like this video, subscribe, and tap that little bell so you never miss a tip that might help you or someone you love. Now, grab a cozy cup of tea, settle in, and let's start with one of the most surprising fruits I always recommend after 60. Let's talk about blueberries. Not flashy, not exotic, but possibly one of the most powerful allies for your aging brain. Blueberries are what I call brain berries. They're packed with antioxidants, especially anthocyanins, that protect your neurons from age-related decline. In fact, a Harvard study followed nearly 16,000 women over 2 decades and found those who ate more blueberries and strawberries had significantly slower rates of cognitive decline. It's like giving your brain a shield, a way to slow down memory loss and boost clarity without a prescription. And if you've noticed more, what was I just saying? Moments lately, blueberries could be a game changer. Here's how to use them. Throw a handful into your oatmeal, blend them into a smoothie, or just snack on them frozen. But here's the key. Keep it to about half a cup a day. More than that, and the natural sugars can start tipping the scale. And always go organic when possible. Those tiny berries can hold onto pesticides like a sponge. Now let's swing in the other direction. The fruit I never recommend for seniors with joint pain, high blood pressure, or insulin issues. Mangoes. I know, they're delicious, creamy, sweet, tropical. But that's the problem. Mangoes are one of the highest sugar fruits on the planet. One mango can contain over 45 grams of sugar. That's more than a can of soda. And for seniors, especially those watching their blood pressure, blood sugar, or weight, that sugar spike can cause real trouble. High sugar leads to inflammation. Inflammation leads to joint stiffness, brain fog, and even heart stress. So if you love mangoes, treat them like dessert, once in a while, in small slices, and never on an empty stomach. Let's bring it back to something safe, sweet, and just as satisfying. Kiwi. This little fuzzy fruit is a vitamin C powerhouse. More than an orange, believe it or not. Why does that matter for you? Because vitamin C supports your immune system, helps repair tissue, and fights oxidative stress, which builds up faster with age. Plus, kiwi helps keep digestion running smooth, thanks to its natural enzymes and fiber. And here's the kicker. Studies have shown kiwi may even help you sleep better. That's right, 2 kiwis an hour before bed improved sleep onset, duration, and quality. So if you've been tossing and turning, reach for kiwi instead of pills. Let's pause a moment here. You might be thinking, can food really make this big a difference? Let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I had a patient named Barbara, 71, sharp as a tack, but always tired, achy, and moody in the mornings. We looked at her diet, and guess what was on it daily? Dried mango strips and canned fruit cocktail. We swapped those for fresh blueberries, kiwi, and a few other things we'll talk about later. Within 2 weeks, she said she felt lighter, clearer, and even her knees stopped aching when she stood up. That's the power of fruit, when you choose the right ones. And on that note, let's talk about a sneaky one that many people think is healthy, but can really throw your system off balance. Grapes. Now, don't get me wrong, grapes have antioxidants, especially the red and black ones, but they're also extremely high in sugar. And here's the kicker. They're easy to overeat. A cup of grapes can have over 20 grams of sugar, and let's be honest, who stops at just 1 cup? That sugar hits fast, spikes blood sugar, and leads to a crash. So if you love grapes, treat them like candy. A small handful, paired with a protein like a slice of cheese or a few almonds to blunt the sugar hit. All right, my friend, now that we've had a taste of what's healing and what's harmful, we're going to keep peeling back the layers and discover even more fruit choices that either feed your vitality or steal it away quietly. Let's walk into the kitchen again together, shall we? Imagine opening your fridge, reaching for a fruit that looks harmless, maybe even healthy, but every bite is secretly putting pressure on your heart. Let's talk about canned fruits, especially canned peaches. They might be soft, sweet, and easy to chew, but they come soaked in heavy syrup. A syrup loaded with high fructose corn syrup or added sugars. That sticky syrup sends your blood sugar soaring, which then crashes down like a roller coaster, leaving you feeling tired, cranky, and craving more sugar just hours later. For seniors managing diabetes, hypertension, or weight, this can be a silent saboteur. If you love peaches, that's okay, but choose fresh, frozen without sugar, or even water-packed versions. Always check the label. If it says in syrup, it's a red flag. Let's refresh our palates with something much more nourishing. Avocado. Yes, avocado is a fruit. Surprised? Most people are. But here's why it's one of the best for anyone over 60. It's loaded with healthy monounsaturated fats that support heart health, brain clarity, and joint mobility. Fats aren't the enemy, especially these kinds of fats. They act like lubrication for your body's engine. They help absorb nutrients from other foods, keep your cholesterol balanced, and stabilize your energy levels. And avocados also deliver potassium more than bananas, which helps regulate blood pressure and muscle function. Try spreading a little on toast, adding slices to a salad, or blending it into a smoothie. And if you're worried about the calories, don't be. 1/2 a day is perfect, and its healthy fats help keep you full longer. Now let's talk about one of the trickiest ones. A fruit that seems innocent, but I've seen it cause more flare-ups in seniors than almost any other: pineapple. Don't get me wrong, it's rich in bromelain, which can help with inflammation. But here's the catch. Most people eat way too much of it, and it's incredibly high in sugar. 1 cup of pineapple has around 16 grams of sugar, and it hits hard and fast. Worse, for people with acid reflux or sensitive stomachs, pineapple can cause burning, discomfort, and bloating. If you're going to enjoy pineapple, eat just a few small pieces with a full meal, never on an empty stomach. Or better yet, switch to papaya, which is gentler, still sweet, and great for digestion. Let's shift back to a fruit that's a total winner: apples. They're crunchy, hydrating, fiber-rich, and especially powerful when it comes to blood sugar control and gut health. That fiber? It's called pectin, and it feeds the good bacteria in your gut, which keeps your immune system strong and your mind clear. And get this, people who eat apples regularly have been shown to have a lower risk of stroke. Just be sure to eat them with the skin. That's where most of the nutrients live. Go for crisp red varieties like Fuji or Gala, which are sweet but lower on the glycemic index. And now, my friend, I have to mention a fruit that causes more sugar crashes and inflammation spikes than you'd ever expect: watermelon. I know, it's refreshing, juicy, and reminds you of summer picnics. But watermelon has one of the highest glycemic indexes of any fruit. That means it turns to sugar in your bloodstream faster than almost anything else. You eat a big slice, and boom, your blood sugar skyrockets, then crashes. That can mean headaches, fatigue, and mood dips. Plus, it's low in fiber, so it doesn't fill you up, and that often leads to overeating. If you love watermelon, have just a few bites with some nuts or protein to slow the sugar rush. Or swap it out for berries, like raspberries or blackberries, which are sweet, full of fiber, and help stabilize blood sugar instead of spiking it. And speaking of berries, let's not forget strawberries. Like blueberries, they're rich in antioxidants, low in sugar, and powerful protectors against inflammation and cardiovascular decline. They also support eye health, which becomes more and more important as we age. Just wash them well and, when possible, go organic, since strawberries often top the pesticide list. You're doing great so far, by the way. You've already taken a huge step just by staying informed.
just by being here with me, learning how to take care of your body one bite at a time. Let's keep walking this path together, because every fruit you add or subtract can shift your energy, your mobility, and your peace of mind. Take a moment and breathe in. Just breathe. Can you feel it? That quiet sense of power. The realization that something as simple as a piece of fruit can change the way your body feels. It's not about giving up everything you love or fearing every bite. It's about awareness. It's about choice. It's about saying, I matter enough to pay attention. Now, let's gently walk back through what we've uncovered, so it really sinks in like sunlight on soil, helping things grow. You discovered that not all fruits are created equal. Not when it comes to a body over 60. Some are allies, whispering healing and balance into every cell. Others, though sweet on the tongue, quietly chip away at energy, mobility, and peace. You learned why blueberries are tiny giants in the world of brain health. You felt the richness of avocados and the heart-loving embrace of their healthy fats. You saw the surprising magic of apples. Simple, common, but mighty. And strawberries. They brought sweetness without the sabotage. But you also looked closer at the troublemakers. Canned peaches hiding in syrupy disguise. Watermelon, sweet as summer, but too quick to spike and crash. Pineapple, acidic and sneaky, sometimes causing more pain than pleasure. And dried fruits, remember? Just because they're small doesn't mean they're innocent. But here's the beautiful part. This isn't about fear. It's about reclaiming joy, reclaiming strength, reclaiming that quiet fire inside you that says, I deserve to feel good every day, because you do. If you've ever felt tired by midday, if your joints feel stiff in the mornings, or your brain sometimes feels foggy, if your sleep is restless or your blood pressure is just a bit too high, then these small changes matter more than you think. Try swapping one of the sugary fruits for a low-glycemic one. Maybe you replace your canned fruit cup with some fresh sliced apple and almond butter. Maybe you skip the pineapple and reach for strawberries instead. You don't have to change everything at once. Just one thing. That's how transformation happens. Not with guilt, but with kindness. And here's a little secret. The more you feel better, the more you want to keep going. The more energy you have, the easier it gets to cook something nourishing, to go for a walk, to laugh with loved ones. And the more you show up for yourself, the more others will want to follow your example. You're not just changing your life, you're showing others what's possible. So what do you think? I'd love to hear your story. Did this open your eyes? Did it challenge something you believed about food? Tell me in the comments, because your story might help someone else start theirs. And now, if this video gave you value, real practical value, you're going to love what's coming next. There's another video waiting for you right there on your screen. Click it. Trust me, if you thought fruit could change your life, just wait until you see what that video reveals. And remember this, you're not done growing. You're just getting started. So go ahead, take that next step. Your healthiest, happiest life is just one click away. I'll see you there.